And to start off the panel, we're going to do a little opening and icebreakers and ask you guys, what does a typical day look like for you in your role? Anyone can start whenever they
We all look at each other.
Well, I can start off.
ahead.
First of all, thank you very much for having us here, and thank you for being here this evening. I know that exam time, and you guys are probably very busy. I also want to specify that I'm also the president of the board, the IFIFQ. So thank you to the IFIFQ for organizing this event and giving us the opportunity. So what is a typical day? I want to start by saying there's no typical day for me. So most days start by just reviewing any news from the day before. I invest mostly in private companies, but I also have a public portfolio as well. And then it's meeting after meetings. I sit on a number of committees, investment committees, review committees, so it's a number of committees. And I would say there's always, every day, there's some file that needs urgent attention. So I usually reserve about an hour and a half in the afternoon to deal with any emergencies. Any emergencies could be anything from, the CEO of this portfolio company resigned. Now we need to find a new CFO because the CFO just got poached by the competition. This company lost a major contract. This represents a significant amount in terms of their revenues. So dealing with all those emergencies happens pretty much on a day-to-day basis, which is part of the fun. I would say that's my typical day. In between all of that, I have my morning routine with my kids, with my 3 kids, and my evening routine with my 3 kids, so I fit into the day as well. So that's my typical day.
I might want to jump in on that one because me, it's the opposite. I actually build reports and dynamic dashboards for our clients. So basically meeting with the clients or internally to meet the request, assess the request, data quality checks, and it's basically numbers day in, day out for me, analysis and providing information, either presentation or dynamic dashboards again for our clients. If I can give you an example, for example, if there is something happening on the market, we will see what's happening on the market. We will translate it into what's happening on the platform at InnoCap, and we're going to give a presentation to the clients in terms of what's the number, what's the performance, what's the exposure, and all of that stuff.
Well, thank you for having us, and welcome everyone. So again, a typical day for me is very different today versus what it was pre-Borealis, so before starting my own firm. So I'll start with Borealis, and maybe I'll tweak a little bit on the way. So I would we invest globally, so it means that if we have to invest in Europe, we would wake up at 3 or 4 in the morning because markets start earlier, of course, with the jet lag, the time difference. And if we happen to trade at night in Japan, we would also do the trading late at night. So it could be a very long day or shorter day, depending on if we do a trading. So we invest globally, as I said, and we invest in quality companies that we don't really trade much. Once an idea is in the portfolio, we tend to hold the position for a long period of time. It could be multiple years, and so therefore you never have a typical, the same day. I tend to read a lot. Everything I can put my hands on, I read, and so until 11 o'clock in the morning, we try to really set aside that time for it's prime time in terms of brain energy, and we want to make sure we use that to read and have generate insight. And after that, we tend to have more meetings, and we are a small team at Borealis, so my day is not into meetings all day. And besides that, when we carve out time to travel and visit companies. So again, when we visit companies, we would tend to go in Europe, across Europe for a couple of weeks, and we would visit plants, people in their offices, and it's very important for us to know the companies we invest in. So a meeting with management, meeting with how the cafeteria looks like and how the people interact. And so that's the fun part, meeting with people and then decide if you want to invest or not in the company. And I would say, having my own firm, I have to deal with a little bit of accounting as well, and make sure everything is all right at the end of the month, at the end of the quarter, making sure everything is all right with Revenu Canada and all this admin stuff that maybe is different from my prior positions. So.
Okay, thank you. Before I start, I think it's a pretty big elephant in the room. Just for all of you to know, Walter Gam is a team of 7, and we have 2 women on the team. Both of them are traveling. Julie's in Toronto and Avi's in Portugal. So when none of them could come, I suggested, because it's very important for us and for me personally, for women to be involved in finance, that I could represent. I want to make it clear that if there's questions that are more specific for women, please don't feel like you can't ask these questions. Like, I'm not here to prohibit any of those questions to be asked. I might not be able to answer all of them, but I still wanted to give my perspective. So when it comes to answering what my day looks like, we're a private equity firm. So I personally think it's the best job in the world, because you basically are helping entrepreneurs. So it, as Salua said, varies from day to day. It's hard to say what I'll do tomorrow, to be honest with you. But if I was to break it down into big buckets, I'd say the first one is obviously valuation. So at Walter Gam, we probably see, again, it varies, but like, let's say 1 deal a week. And so that deal goes through our deal flow pipeline. And obviously the first time we see it, we don't spend, the full amount of time doing a full, diligent financial model, but we'll do a side-of-desk model. So that happens quite frequently. And then as it progresses through the pipeline, obviously it gets more and more detailed and more diligent. We also do quite a bit of, I'll call it legal work / structuring. That's one of the benefits, I guess, of being part of private equity. In public markets, you're trading contracts that are very standardized, like one common equity or one bond, and the market makes sure that it is standardized and it's up to some standard. In private equity, you can be a lot more creative to find some win-win situations. So like a good example would be like using options. So we'll invest in a company, give an options to the founder to say, if you believe in yourself and you think you can hit these targets, we want to reward you because it'll be a win-win. And obviously, like, an option call is the most simple form of that incentive, but there's smarter ways you can go about it. And then the last one kind of goes back to my previous career, which is a little bit of consulting. But I honestly think it's consulting on steroids. When you're a consultant, it's very transactional, right? Like at Accenture Strategy, you come in, like C-suite hires you, they want to do X project. The person that hires you probably already knows the answer. They just want a third party to say, like, point a finger if it goes wrong, or say, I got it rubber stamped, right? So you end up doing a lot of work, and it's like, don't get me wrong, like if you want to do strategy consulting, it's a great career too. But it wasn't really for me. Like, I think in PE, you are part of those decisions that comes before hiring the consulting firm. And it's quite a level higher, right? Like Salua said, like, you're part of board meetings, which as a consultant, like, it's pretty, like, you have to be high up there to be invited to a board meeting. So it's just, I guess, consulting work, like helping the companies, like, as I said, like the entrepreneurs make like those tough decisions, whether it's from HR, like your example, if they want to do M&A themselves, like we're usually the experts in that, so we can help them, or expanding in new markets. So that's it, that's the breakdown.